If people would remember and sense the true version of this reality, the true version of themselves, they would feel such a surge of unimaginable love, that they would understand. They would understand. They would start to see why I am saying that this reality that we are living under right now is so horrific. And even despite its apparent beauties, it's still, most of it, just like a pit of hell or of sorts. If people would remember, and I believe we are to remember soon. It has started. It has started. The unfolding has started. This reality is slowly unfolding to its true form. And I think the memories and the senses, the true senses of perception, will start to, like one breeze of air, enter into the room of more and more people. And when one starts to remember and sense, first it seems like this invisible sense, like you can't touch it, you can't put a finger on it, you can't explain what you have just sensed, but it's like when one senses the truth self and the true reality, it's like nothing can go back anymore, nothing can be, it's like nothing from this reality here is seen the same anymore. Everything from this reality, from this distorted reality, I mean, starts to lose its meaning without one even wanting to do so. It's just incomparable. Incomparable. Yeah, man, it's like when we start to really sense it within ourselves, the true real reality and our true version of ourselves, like, it's not even crying doesn't do it justice. Not even like crying for 1 million years continuously doesn't do it justice, because what we truly are, and when I say this, is not like I'm not referring to what we truly are, like we would be like infinite consciousness or God like, or no, man, it's like I don't know how to explain it yet. It's like we are so mundane, we are just so mundane, we are just some beings which resemble this being quite a lot in some way, and it's just normal, it's just so mundane. But what we truly are in that mundane mode, it's so brilliant, it's so magnificent compared to this mode of living here. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, because it's so magnificent, it's unimaginable. As I said, it's like not even crying continuously for 1 million of years wouldn't do it justice. How I feel when I feel in the presence, in myself, in that presence of that true self and that true real reality. It's so simple, it's so normal, it's so mundane in a way, but it's so like unspeakable compared to this version. It's just versions. It's not like this version is like this whole world would disappear. No, it's like just starting to see it again in its true form. one example would be like, let's say somebody takes a drug of sorts, a psychedelic, right? And instead of having this nice trip, one starts having a really, really, really bad trip, a nightmare. And he's like, let's say somebody takes a psilocybin mushroom, right? And nothing changes when you take psilocybin mushrooms. You still see, to a certain degree, this reality is like the same one, but it's different. You see it differently. Now let's imagine that we have taken a drug, that we are still seeing this reality, but we are seeing it like it's in a murky and obscure and dark and threatening and frightful way, and everything scares us. Like the most benign things start to appear like monsters, and we are frightened, and we are like pulling our hairs off, and we are starting to kill the people around us and afraid of being killed, and just in this paranoia, thinking everything is up to get us. And then it's like then slowly you're starting to the drug effect starts to fade off, and you're hey, oh my god, mama. It's like you're starting to recognize, oh my god, you I thought you were like, you're a monster, but you're my mother. Or oh my god, you're my sister. Oh my god, you're the golden tree or something like that. That it is growing in my garden. You weren't like this creepy, I don't know, snake or whatever that tried to get me. Or it's like, oh my god, and you're like, it's like you're almost feeling like completely bursting off. It's like almost how it feels for me is like it seems like almost my entire heart is just exploding. Because this is why I can't, for me at least, I can't yet. I feel overwhelmed, so I can't sustain this state because of the overwhelming love that I feel. It's just that love. It feels like it is burning everything in me. When I start to stay in this state and I start to feel and sense more and more of the true reality, and the drug effect slowly starts to fade off when I'm staying in this state of pure perception, at this time I can't sustain this state, not because it would be terrible, but because it is so good, but that I can't sustain it. It's just too much love. It's too much beauty. That I feel like bursting off. I feel like my body and my entire being, it's so small to contain such a thing, man. I feel like I'm something so small to contain such a thing. It's like I'm unable to contain it because I feel like I would just explode. I would just explode to pieces, man. It would just rip me apart. This is how it feels. It's so grand. I can't describe it. This is why we can't, most of us, we are scared of this state. It's not, and we subconsciously and unconsciously we avoid it. It's not because it is bad, it's because it is too good. It is too good to be true, and for our limited selves that have been living in this, under the effect of this drug that always made us feel so small, is so unworthy, and so like unconsciously all of us, we have played a victim, and we felt so unworthy, man, so small. So it's like our mind can't contain the grandness of what we truly are, and it's like it feels like shattering my mind, shattering my body. It feels like, exactly as I said, like I'm something too small to contain such grandness inside of me, and not explode, not fully explode in the process. This is why I think many of us, this is why there is a spiritual process, this is why there is a path, this is why you can't take it all in from one go, because it just feels like it would rip me apart. And again, it's not the something bad that would rip me apart. It's something too good. It's something too perfect, too real, too grand, too magnificent, too beautiful. This is why we need the spiritual path. This is why it has to be a path. But in my opinion, that's the single destination for everybody. That's the only one single destination. There can be many paths, but only one single destination. And that destination is this truth. And the way we are getting there can be many ways. But yeah, that's our truth. That's our true birthright. That's our true nature. And we are all further or we are all somewhere on this path. Some of us are more at the beginning of the path of reaching this true nature of ourselves, and some of us are further on this path. Not all of us we are at the same stage or at the same level. Many of us are much more further on the path than others. And there are always, anywhere we find ourselves on the path, and unless we have reached the destination, in my opinion, there are always beings which are more advanced than us and beings which are less advanced than us. So each of us has something to learn and something to teach.